Oh, thank you everyone for being here. Thank you, Tanya, for having me in this group, and the Oz practitioners, and for really welcoming me into your heart, your minds, and tonight to invest this time into learning about this. I know that hemp is a really hot topic right now, so I appreciate that. My name is Tara Steff, and I'm a hemp educator. I'm also a founding independent affiliate of a really amazing company called Prime My Body, and we're going to be talking about hemp today, so definitely get started. So, the real question that I have for you is, why are you here? Something brought you here on a wonderful afternoon where you could be spending an hour of your time, or 4 hours. No, I'm just kidding. We won't be there that long. I'm going to keep this really short and sweet and to the point, but really the question that I have is, do you know someone who's struggling with any of these: cancer, opioid crisis, suicide, heart disease, kidney disease? I have a couple of statistics to read that really hit home to me. Cancer is the second killer in the entire United States right now, only second to heart disease. Half of the men in this room and 1/3 of the women in this room will be diagnosed with cancer at some point in their life. And to me, those odds are unacceptable, and it's time that we really band together to try and do something about this problems that we have in this world that are taking people at alarming rates. The opioid crisis, the National Drug Institute said that over 70,000 Americans died in 2017 from opioid, and a lot of those are from prescription pills as well. So we really have an opioid crisis on our hands right now. And with suicide being the 10th leading cause of death in the United States, I'm very passionate about the veterans that are here. Thank you for anyone who has served our beautiful country, because freedom does not come free, and our cost, and it's appalling to me when you hear of veterans committing suicide in the VA hospital because they're not given the treatment that they really deserve. That breaks my heart. In 2016 alone, over 1.3 million people attempted suicide. That's a lot. Diabetes, right now there's over 90,000 people on the transplant list due to chronic kidney disease. My aunt is included on that, and we are waiting for a kidney donation for that. Heart disease, 1 in 4 killer of anyone that will die will be of heart disease. So that is a big, shocking statistic. And the problem is that despite the advancement in medicine, we actually have a decline in life expectancy. So we've really got to do something, as Tanya talked about, the toxins that we're all exposed to on a daily basis. Maybe you're here to gain some hope and to take your power back and to be able to take back your health, or someone that you know who's really struggling with their health. So maybe you're here to help the environment. Maybe you've heard how hemp is a remedial plant and it can help suck toxins from the ground, and it can clean up radiation exposure if it's planted around Fukushima and Chernobyl, and helping to clean up the planet. It's interesting that we have this crisis where they're saying that very soon they're expected to be more plastic in the ocean than the fish, and that is really appalling as well. We look at, this wonderful little bear sitting here on a lonely ice sheet. We just found out that there's, another ice sheet in Alaska that's disappeared, and we have to do something now collectively to stop this. And I believe that hemp is the way of the future. It's been the way of the past, and it really can help us, because anything made of plastic can be made of hemp, and it's biodegradable, and if it ends up in the oceans, it could actually be food for the fish and the turtles and things. So really, it's exciting to be a part of this conversation to let's stop climate change. Let's help reverse the damage that's been done from people on this planet, in this toxic world. Maybe you're here because you're stressed to the max. People are very, very stressed right now in America. We get in our car, we're in traffic, we're stressed because there's too much month left at the end of the money. We get in, it's time to take Sally to the gym practice, whatever's going on in our hectic world. We've got to be to work on time for a boss that maybe we don't love working for. And that stresses us. The environmental toxins, all of this adds stress onto our life. And it's become kind of colloquial, the mommy juice or the daddy juice, right? It's acceptable to drink wine or alcohol I just need to calm down at the end of the night. Well, what if there was something you could do throughout the day that actually helped you to get in balance, to feel more calm, more stability in your life? brain inflammation is really an important topic because it leads to things like anxiety, depression, seizures, headaches, dizziness, that brain fog where maybe you forgot where you left your keys or why did I go in this room? I think we can all relate to that, right? Impatience, when we're quick and reactive, that's also a sign of brain fog or brain inflammation, and memory loss as well. As our people are getting older that we love and care about, it's really sad to see them decline. I watched my own grandfather and my mother on either side, grandmother, really suffering from loss of memory. And I wish that there was something that I could have done while they were still alive to help this. So whether you're here for any of those reasons or just to learn more, I just thank you for being here and spending your time with us. So keep calm and maintain homeostasis. That's the idea, balance, right? So really we're just here, maybe you've heard something about hemp, maybe you're curious, what's the legality of hemp, or is this cannabis, is this marijuana? There's a lot of confusion surrounding what hemp is, but hemp gets you healthy, it doesn't get you high. So that is the biggest thing that I want you to just really sink in today. Number one rule, do no harm. We are here to help one another on this planet, to lift up the planet, to change this world, and hope brought you here today. Something brought you here. I like this quote by Roxana Jones. Hope brought you here and it never leaves your side, even on your darkest nights. Listen to her. She is always whispering through love, right? We always have hope. So hemp is a wonderful plant. There's over 50,000 uses, everything from paper products to textiles, plastics, again, body care products, construction materials. It's an incredible insulator, and it's mold resistant and fungus resistant. Again, hemp is it's a weed. It grows without a lot of resources. So when it comes to cotton fiber and different clothing materials, it's more durable, it requires less, and cotton is one of those, like you said about the glyphosate, the Roundup, cotton is one of those crops that we all have it against our skin all the day, but hasn't been, a bunch of toxic residues that are also in that process. So livestock feed, which is really interesting. We have this beautiful cow munching on some wild cannabis hemp out there in the grazing of the lands. It used to be fed to the cattle, the livestock, the chickens, the pigs, and then we would ingest the meat or the eggs or the milk of those animals, and we would get the cannabinoids as that way. But since everything has kind of shifted and we've been in prohibition, we'll talk a little bit about that. We've been not really receiving that through our food source like we used to. And then we're here to talk, specifically about the medicinal benefits, right? The health benefits of this incredible plant ally that's been here to help us for a long, long time. So I like this slide. It's a little poking fun on some things, but hemp has been around, actually used medicinally for over 10,000 years BC. So we're looking at over 12,000 years of the plant being used. Back in China, it was used. Xinjiang made the first medical known recommendations for cannabis, dating way, way back. And we've got in the US Pharmacopoeia also from 1850 to 1937, cannabis was used as the prime medicine for more than 100 different diseases and illnesses. Very interesting, Thomas Jefferson and George Washington were hemp farmers. In fact, if you were part of the original 13 original colony owners and you own land, you were actually required by law to grow hemp on your land. You could pay your taxes in hemp. Dad, you're a tax accountant. Hey, I'd love to just grow my hair. I'm just going to grow my tax payment for the federal government, right? Right? I know, right? And the first two drafts of the Declaration of Independence were written on hemp paper, which is really exciting. Columbus's ships, the Santa Maria, the Pinto, and the Nina were actually, the sails and the hemp rope of those were hemp. So it's really been around for us a long time. In fact, it was so good that Henry Ford decided to build a car out of it, and it ran on hemp oil, and it was made of hemp fiber. It can be stronger than steel, so it's an incredible building material. And imagine the reduction in this planet that we can make on the fossil fuel consumption that we're really dealing with if we could really get behind this plant ally. Then what happened in 1937 kind of changed everything in mainstream America, because we had the history of the Marijuana Tax Act that was enacted in 1937, brought to you by this gentleman here, down here, Mr. Angsler, and William Randolph Hearst. William Randolph Hearst owned the newspaper companies, and he was heavily invested in timber, as in using trees for paper, not hemp for paper, right? You can grow 10 times more paper on an acre of hemp than you can with trees of the same amount. It's, it only has to grow this tall and you can harvest it. It's a weed, again, using less resources. So he actually banded together with his buddy DuPont, who we all know is heavily invested in plastics, and the two of them put together the propaganda. If you imagine in 1937, we didn't have the internet, we didn't have the ability to communicate, we didn't have TV, and basically people were getting their information through newspaper and a limited amount through video and a lot through radio as well. So if you own the newspapers and you can basically bash something that you think is going to hurt your industry, that's kind of what happened. And unfortunately, America for the last 80 years has been in prohibition, and we're looking at 3 generations of endocannabinoid deficiency. People who are deficient, having children who are deficient, having children who are deficient, and now we're looking at a global epidemic of widespread disease and illness. So bringing hemp back is really what this is all about. Of course, the Reefer Madness film that came out that scared people into believing marijuana, you guys, is a made-up name. That's not the scientific name. It wasn't called that before this. They banded together and put Mary and Juan together, and they tried to make it a race and social thing, that only the lower class and the colored people were using marijuana, and it's this evil thing. And I am very much of a one love type of mentality. We're all here together. We're all the same, regardless of the color of our skin. It's the content of the character that's in our hearts that will unify this nation. And I really believe that hemp has the ability to merge the blue and the red, the black and the white, the left and the right, right? Everyone can find together that we need peace on this planet. Peace in our hearts. So luckily, this gentleman right here, whether you love him or not, he signed the 2018 Farm Bill Act last year that federally made hemp legal again in the United States of America, which is very, very exciting. Yeah, absolutely. So in 2014, there was a farm bill that was passed, and it actually legalized hemp on a state level, but there was still this federal, gray area. So now that is gone, and we have the ability to have hemp back in our lives, but that's just one part of the plant. So if you think of the cannabis plant having 2 species, I think of it like a male and a female plant. The male plant is what we're talking about today, specifically hemp, that is low in THC, really nothing. It's not going to get you high. You could smoke a rope, you could drink that whole bottle of hemp oil, you're not going to get high. There's lots of cannabinoids, mainly CBD, that's found in the hemp plant. And also the female plant is what has really been slaying marijuana, right? That's what has what you all have probably heard of as the famous cannabinoid THC. Now that on its own, if it exists in the plant and you put it in your smoothie, you're eating it like whatever, like the animals, you're not going to get high off of that. It has to be heated up. So whether it's through vaporizing or, a flame or baking, that decarboxylation process is what activates the THC and makes it the psychoactive component. And that brings euphoria. But for some people, it also brings paranoia, anxiety, and some feelings that it's just not balanced, right? So it can be useful in terms of some cancer patients and things like that. But in all, it's not the only necessary cannabinoid. So we're going to talk mostly about hemp today. And what are cannabinoids? So there's actually over 100 cannabinoids found in hemp and cannabis. Again, the THC gets you high. That's the psychoactive part. There are limited, health benefits to that as well. But CBD, cannabidiol, has many therapeutic properties. By a show of hand, has everyone already heard of CBD? Yeah? Okay, cool. Awesome. So CBG, has anyone heard of CBG? Okay, cool. You guys got to all try some of that today, and if not, you're welcome to try some after the presentation, but we're going to talk more about that as well. Basically, the research is overwhelming. There's over 20,000 studies that are published, and you can find them on over 250 different medical conditions. PubMed.gov projectcbd.org are really great research places where they've compiled all of this research for you. So antibacterial, anti-diabetic, it helps with blood sugar levels, it helps with vomiting and nausea, helps with seizures and convulsion. We've all heard of little Charlotte, which the Charlotte's Web strand was brought about. She's been on, TV and very openly a proponent for hemp and cannabis to help with seizures. Again, it's anti-inflammatory. It helps actually with heart health and artery blockage. It inhibits cell growth in tumors. It's antipsychotic. It actually helps combat the psychoactive effects of THC. So if people are feeling imbalanced, we do live in this beautiful state of Colorado where cannabis, the whole plant, is legal and you can find THC, but if you've had too much, your antidote is CBD. So you can actually balance and find the calmness back in your life from that. It's antioxidant and it's also antidepressant. So if you feel like doing your own research, I definitely, don't take my word for it. Do your own research. PubMed.gov, projectcbd.org. If you're interested in how this might interact if you're taking other medications, please have the conversation with your doctor. We really need to HEMP, help educate more people, practitioners, police officers, politicians, patients, pet owners. What is hemp? And you might have to do your own research and bring that these studies to your doctor when you're looking at, hey doc, could I possibly wean myself off of some of these medications that I'm on? I want to try CBD. A lot of times your doctor probably doesn't know much about this. So if you can become your own advocate, again, we get to choose what we believe is medicine for ourselves. So bringing the age-old principle of that Hippocrates said over 2,000 years ago, let food be the medicine, right? So Google is your friend, healer.com, great resources for you. Why do we need to use CBD, the endocannabinoid system?
When people hear about all of the different health conditions that cannabis can help with and all of the different benefits of cannabis, it's almost too hard to believe. How can one herb have so many powerful medical properties without having any dangerous side effects? This question led researchers to discover a system of physiology that we all have inside of us that's constantly maintaining balance at a cellular level. It was named the endocannabinoid system because we discovered it when we were looking for how does cannabis work. Now we know that the endocannabinoid system is active in everyone all the time, from even before you were born to the end of your life, helping promote health and balance physiologically. This system is present all through the body and all the different tissues. That's why it can help with disorders of the brain, of the various organs like the liver or the intestines. It can help with musculoskeletal problems. It can help with inflammatory and immune issues. Your body is making cannabinoids all the time. These molecules function a lot like THC and the other cannabinoids found in the plant. And your body knows when to make these and how to make these to keep you healthy. Some people need a little help, or their endocannabinoid system may not be functioning at its optimal level, and you can address this by adding in the right dosage of cannabis from the plant. I've been surprised in my clinical practice to discover that ultra-low dosages of cannabis can be health promoting and also relieve symptoms in patients. At these very low dosages, people will over time become more sensitive to cannabis and start getting better and better effects from the cannabis they're using, as well as start to develop a feeling of resilience, of strength, of balance. What I believe is happening, and this is supported by animal research, is that very low dosages of cannabis can actually upregulate and tonify your endocannabinoid system. This means the system of physiology that's been active within you since before you were born starts acting more efficiently, more optimally to promote health and balance internally. Ultra-low dosages of cannabis can be used, in my experience, to promote health and to keep people resilient to all the toxicities and changes in their environment.
So this is new science, guys. This has only been discovered since 1992. Dr. Raphael Mechoulam is an Israeli scientist who is studying the benefits of cannabis for the US government. And because of the advancements in technology, he actually was able to discover that every system in our entire body is regulated by this master control panel system, if you will, the endocannabinoid system. And this system regulates hormones in the immune system. It regulates pain, inflammation, memory, emotion, sleep, metabolism, and it must be functioning for overall health. So really, the ECS, or the endocannabinoid system, it becomes strained when we're stressed. So when we're stressed physically through toxins, when we're stressed mentally as well. So stress relief is so imperative. We have these receptors throughout our entire body. We make our own cannabinoids. You make your own CBD. Isn't that exciting? And when I think of the endocannabinoid system, I think of it like dispatch. It really allows for intercellular communication. And it's also calling in the immune system. So let's say we all know that inflammation is the root cause of a lot of the disease and disorders and illness that's out there, right? Inflammation is essentially like fire in the body, and we have to effectively dispatch the firemen that are in the firehouse, the immune cells, and we have to arm them with what they need so that they can fight the blaze. If there's no message getting through, then the inflammation rages, and that's what's happening, and becomes systemic, and it builds into things like cancer and all sorts of other inflammatory responses, as well as autoimmune disorder. We're looking at a lot there as well. So really, if we can get the effective message to the immune cells, but then what do we give them? You know, it's like people will say, well, I tried CBD and it didn't work for me. Okay, well, if you took a squirt gun to a forest fire, depending on how much of a blaze you've got going on inside of your body or your brain, it's not going to be very effective. We've got to call in the system. We've got to call in the flood. We've got to flood that, rain if we can. So taking CBD supplement really helps with that. So your bodies are constantly making their own cannabinoids, and one is a neurotransmitter called anandamide. Ananda means bliss in Sanskrit, and this is, again, produced by your body under peak physical conditions. It's responsible for the runner's high. A lot of people think that it's endorphins that you feel. They're not small enough to bypass the blood-brain barrier. When you feel that runner's high, you're actually making your own anandamide. It's also present when you're doing deep meditation, yoga, those peak physical states, even orgasm, and when you climb up to the top of a mountain and you are all inspired, or maybe you have that love and affinity for your child or your animal or whatever, and you feel that really euphoric, blissful calmness, that's your body making its own anandamide. There's another one called 2-arachidonyl glycerol that's found in mother's breast milk. Thank you, Mom. You were the first one to give us CBD. Isn't that exciting? Make sure you thank your mom for that. This is absolutely imperative to human development. You look at children who are deprived of breast milk, and a lot of times their neurological function is not right, their brain development is off, their immune systems, they get ear infections, they're sick all the time. So really helping boost this is really incredible. So again, 1992 is when the discovery of this system was made. In 2003, the FDA actually gave Big Pharma a patent. So literally the government owns the rights to be called CBD, which is why you will not find CBD anywhere on our label. Charlotte's Web was actually forced in a suit. They were cease and desist order law, right? They were served a cease and desist order to pull all their products off the shelf and remove the level of CBD. So if you know somebody who's making CBD, or you see it and it says CBD oil, they're technically in trademark infringement. So it's very wonderful. We know that the health benefits are there. The pharmaceutical industry would love to own it. But again, how can you own something that exists in nature naturally? So cannabis is not the only plant-based called phytocannabinoids, meaning cannabinoids from plants that you can supplement with. You may have heard how turmeric or capsaicin, that peppery, you'll put it on icy hot, whatever. That is something that can activate the endocannabinoid system, as well as ginger, kava, rosemary, echinacea. If you've ever heard when you start getting sick, take echinacea. That's why. Boost your immune system. Also, it's found in cacao. and dark chocolate. So who doesn't love chocolate? When you feel that blissfulness, that's activating your endocannabinoid system. So pretty interesting, right? So why activate this system? Well, for overall balance, brain function, memory, mood, and focus. You want to have that sharpness, that focus, that clarity. Help support brain healing in traumatic brain injuries. Again, the NFL is looking at this very, very hard right now to try and help alleviate some of the systems. Physical discomfort and swelling. It can reduce or stop muscle tension, inflamed tissues. Joint and bone health. It helps support healthy bones. We don't necessarily need to take, something else. We can support our own body to heal itself. And joints. The blood sugar levels. People are very imbalanced that way as well. And it can help with sleep, energy, endurance, and exercise recovery. So if you are an athlete, hopefully everyone's doing at least some level of exercise on a fairly regular basis. And if you're doing muscle strenuous activity, this can help repair the muscles.
Hello, my name is Dr. David Allen. I'm a retired cardiac surgeon and a member of the International Cannabinoid Research Society, ICRS. That means I'm a cannabinoid research scientist. And I'm here to tell you about the discovery of the endocannabinoid system, the ECS, and the significance and how it will change medicine. And we discovered the endocannabinoid system about 30 years ago, and we really didn't understand the significance of its discovery. And so we found out that this is a chemical communication that your body has. It's not electrical, it's chemical, and it's kind of like the hormone systems that people are familiar with. And your body makes these cannabinoids. They're endogenous, so they're endocannabinoids, and they perform some miraculous functions in the body. And we're just learning the significance of these functions. And basically, the endocannabinoid system is responsible for homeostasis. Most people don't understand what that really means, but it's the body's ability to maintain itself and function in the proper environment. And so it's critically important that doctors in the future understand this control mechanism. And we're finding out that that manipulation of this endocannabinoid system will control diabetes. It controls cancer. It controls whether you can survive a heart attack or stroke. And so this is critically important for doctors to understand this new science. And the discovery of the endocannabinoid system is the single most important medical scientific discovery ever, and will save more lives than the discovery and application of sterile surgical technique. And I'm a heart surgeon saying that. So more people will be saved by manipulation of the endocannabinoid system than are currently saved by surgery.
But recent research has been looking at cannabis and the different cannabinoids. There's over 80 plus cannabinoids discovered in the cannabis plant. The second most dominant one besides THC is cannabidiol or CBD. Okay. And the research now is over 1,200 peer-reviewed journals on CBD. It's probably the most exciting and researched ingredient or substance right now around the world. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have the psychoactive or high that is associated with THC, but it has a tremendous amount of other benefits, including research shows anti-seizure, anti-epileptic, which is why it's gotten a lot of popularity. You do a lot with children with seizure disorders, and they're getting benefits from this plant in a safe, non-toxic way versus all these drugs that typically don't work. Mm-hmm. And there's neuroprotective benefits, so you see a lot with concussions and the NFL. There's a lot of research being done now with chronic traumatic encephalopathy or chronically banging your head a lot. There's anti-anxiety, which is really important. It's the anti-THC of sorts. It calms you down. It helps you manage stress better, which is how I look at it. It's much more as a preventative or daily use substance than just treating disease states. And there's immune support. It's a huge antioxidant. There's just a tremendous. It's easier sometimes to talk about what it doesn't do than what it does.
Dr. Alan Shackelford is a Harvard-trained physician. He's also among a handful of doctors in Colorado who give prescriptions for medical marijuana. From the moment Charlotte entered his office, he knew she was in trouble. While he was just examining her, she had 2 seizures.
She'd failed everything. There were no more options for her. Everything had been tried, except cannabis.
Here's how scientists think it might work. Marijuana is made up of 2 ingredients. THC, that's the psychoactive part that makes you high, and CBD, also called cannabidiol. It's the CBD that scientists think modulates electrical and chemical activity to help quiet the excessive activity in the brain that causes seizures.
I've been telling my patients to cut.
Dr. Julie Holland is the editor of The Pot Book, a complete guide to cannabis.
For a long time, the work on cannabis and epilepsy was sort of inconclusive. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. They couldn't quite figure it out. And it's only when they really started separating THC from CBD that they saw, definitively, yes, CBD seems to really stop.
So again, it's all about balance. Find that balance. People are stuck in fight or flight mode. We only have 2 modes. We have the sympathetic nervous system, we have the parasympathetic nervous system. When we get stuck in sympathetic overload, fight or flight, worry, fear, judgment, we cannot rest, digest our food properly. We find ourselves very, very stuck in this imbalance. So taking hemp oil and restoring balance to the endocannabinoid system helps to shift that, to bring back the parasympathetic nervous system, the calm, the relax, the heal and repair damage. So again, we want to try and avoid the deficiency. Again, guys, this is not something that your doctor likely knows about, let alone are they testing. Right now, the only way to test your anandamide levels is a spinal tap. And that is not something that people want to go through, so when you're getting, they're checking your levels of vitamins and, things when you have your blood tested, there's no test for this right now. So we really need the research surrounding this and to help people and doctors, everyone just become more aware about this. And the prevention, keep the body functioning at its top notch. I have a picture of a Ferrari here because we know what would happen to a vehicle if we didn't change the oil and never put gas in it. We wouldn't go very long for very far, right? So really, there's certain things that we have to do to maintain our body. We have to take out the trash and the toxins. And when our bathtub gets full and overspilling, if we just go to a doctor and get a pill that's like mop up the mess. No, we've got to learn how to recognize the toxins, turn down the toxic bathtub, and get the drain flowing again. So when you're, again, stuck in fight or flight mode and your body's trying to fight an inflammation fire in your body, it's not worried about taking out the garbage. We have to have all systems go. We have to have the police to round up, the cells that are going haywire and say, no, you're not going to overgrow over here. We need to have the detox pathways turned back on so the trash gets taken out. And really, we have to have the firemen as well. And this is how we can help our bodies, but not just for us, for our animals too. Everything on the evolutionary scale above a sea squirt has an endocannabinoid system. Isn't that interesting? We've been given this, and so think about your furry friends that are struggling with anxiety and, those dogs, and you have to leave them, caged up or they'll destroy the house because they want to be near us. And our animals take on our energy. So if we're stressed and we come home and we just hug on that animal, we just transferred our stress level onto our animals. They don't have a way to balance and they become very neurologically upset. We've got seizures, we've got cancer. It's over 50% of animals that are over the age of 10 years old will be diagnosed with cancer. So how do we, and that didn't used to be like this. In the 60s, veterinarians did not see the rate of cancer. And again, we've got glyphosate sprayed on the grass and the pesticides and the fertilizers and all the things, then our animals are ingesting those and they're getting exposed just the same way that we are. So promotes overall health, reduces inflammation, helps with nausea, anxiety, itchy skin, those animals that have allergies. People, look into getting your animals on raw food, please. It's not, the kibble is killing them. It's like if we just fed McDonald's to our animal or to our people, like every meal for the rest of your life. Like, it's not healthy. And then those high processed kibbles are, they're just killing all of the good enzymes and they can't be broken down. So look into that. I like this. So Dr. Christopher Shade is one of my, I've kind of been studying him, if you will, for a couple years since I first got into this company. And he actually is out of Quicksilver Scientific right up here in Lafayette, Colorado, where he has a nutraceutical company. He's a metals detox specialist. He specializes in mercury detox. Again, Does anyone here have mercury in their mouths from dental mercury amalgam fillings? Find a biological dentist that can safely extract those, because those are leaching, those are off-gassing, you can see them. So every time you're swallowing, chewing, everything, mercury has an affinity for fat, and guess what, we're all fat heads. So unfortunately, and that mercury can deposit into the pineal gland that help and cause calcification. All these things are really affecting our brain. One of those things is mercury. So he actually is quoted to say CBD, Cannabidiol, is the most important supplement to hit the functional and integrative medical world in the last 20 to 30 years because it has so much effect on the brain and the entire body. CBD is often used to wean people off of opioids for pain because of its diminishing pain responses. CBD increases GABA tone. It takes away that irritating pain response. CBD is actually a gene modulator, which is really exciting. It actually turns down pro-inflammatory genes that go out of control in the case of cancers and things like that, and it turns up anti-inflammatory genes. So again, helping your body fight inflammation on its own more effectively. CBD also activates the NRF2 pathway and phase 2 of detoxification pathways, which is really, again, we want to help our body rid the body of trash. So that's interesting, but buyer beware, please. Do not stop buying your CBD at the gas station, for the love of God. If you can buy direct from a supplier, okay, and you can get fresh products that are clean, that are batch tested, there is no regulation in this industry right now. We really need that. It is the Wild West out there. Again, hemp is a remedial plant. It can suck toxins from the ground, but if it's then being grown with pesticides or on polluted land, guess what you're just now ingesting? Not good. So look for, again, testing is expensive and it's an extra thing that is not required by law, so companies are getting away with not doing it. And whoever is making CBD in their backyard, or who you know who's in the industry, ask them, are you batch testing? Where's the certification of analysis, the COA? If they can't provide it, don't touch it. That would be my recommendation, to spot products. There's a few different ways that you can, get cannabinoids into your body. Topical salve is one way. We do have an option for that. It's called body therapy. The pros on that is that it provides localized relief. So if you have local pain in your joints, or your muscles are aching, or your back hurts, you can rub some on there and it will help alleviate some of the pain. Oh, good. Vicky's got some. If anybody wants to smell it, try it, or whatever. I don't know. Maybe she'll pass it around so you guys can try it. It's great. Lene, would you like to say something? She's a massage therapist and would love to hear.
So I love all of these products. I've had, just recently, a client come in who was emotionally distraught. She was going through some family issues, was literally on the border of tears, and said that she had been that way for 3 days. I gave her a dose of Recept, got her on the table, and by the end of the massage, she literally had a smile on her face and said, I just kind of feel like laughing. And if that's not a sign that this is doing great things for our emotional balance, I don't know what is. On top of the other wonderful benefits of pain relief and things like that. I know it's helped me a lot with stress, my shoulders and that. I give a lot of massage, but I'm bad and I don't get enough, and it helps keep me from being super painful. Thank you.
Yeah, and I've heard that from a lot of chiropractors, acupuncturists, massage therapists who have incorporated this into their practice. People leave saying that was the best adjustment, that was the best session you've ever given me. So it can really be a great add-on that you can offer to your clients who are looking for an extra level, especially for pain relief. The cons, though, limited effect. It's not systemic, right? If you can take it internally, it'll start affecting your immune system and everywhere else as well. So if people are really in a lot of chronic inflammation, definitely recommend that they take it internally and apply it topically for the painful spots that they've got. This is a really interesting product that's shaping the nation, and I'm sure Tanya's very excited to hear about this, being a plastic surgeon. This is rivaling the micro-needling, guys, without needles. Very, very effective. CBD is great for the skin. Again, our largest organ is our skin. So again, of course, we have receptors in there. CBD is a restorative solution for all skin types, including acne-prone and sensitive skin. It's a natural plant compound that's been found to help reduce inflammation and support the skin's natural healing process. So that's CBD. So up here, this is our Knox product. which is, we're still in pre-orders right now. It's not even out yet. We should have our first one in the next, hopefully 2 or 3 weeks. But it's a 2-step serum that basically combines the power of CBD with nitric oxide. Wow. Nitric oxide is a vasodilator, and it helps with, obviously, when we start looking at heart disease and the plaques that are building up and the arteriosclerosis, the hardening of the walls of the it's because we're not producing, again, enough nitric oxide naturally. So taking a supplement, this is going to rush blood to your skin. And you'll see in these pictures, it kind of gives people like a little bit of a tan, a natural tan look to it, because it's flushing blood to your skin, but it helps with reduction in wrinkles. It's really incredible what people are having the results. Dark skin spots, freckles. I know Sarah, she lives up here. This is Sarah. Oh, so she is a good friend of mine, and her skin, it looks phenomenal. She's got this glow to her. Her freckles and stuff are like lessened, and that was just after like a week of using this stuff. So really incredible things are happening. Those forehead wrinkles, the vertical one that we're all getting from looking at our phones and our computers and all that stuff. Nitric oxide is the missing component in current anti-aging skincare systems. It's a signaling molecule in humans supporting cellular communication and regeneration. Loss of nitric oxide production is one of the earliest events in the aging process and is responsible for the signs of aging, including poor complexion, appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. In fact, nitric oxide is so important its discovery was awarded a Nobel Prize in Medicine or in Physiology in 1998. It's been studied for more than 30 years. Simply put, nitric oxide is a cell signaling molecule that tells blood vessels to open and improve nitrogen, oxygen, and nutrient delivery to every cell in the body, including the cells of the skin. So this is really exciting to have. Capsules are another way that people might get them because they're convenient. You can order them online and you can find them. They're less expensive typically because they're less effective. Again, they have no flavor, but they're really low absorption of only about 5 to 10%. The problem is when we swallow capsules or supplements or vitamins or whatever we're swallowing, anything is only as good as it's actually absorbed, and unfortunately the hydrochloric acid in our stomach breaks down 90 to 95% of the products that we take in. So again, that's why, probiotics, they put in billions and billions of probiotics because most of them are killed off in the first phase of digestion. So if we can bypass that, that's what we're going to talk about later. But tincture form, you'll find those again, very common. Everybody's making those nowadays. They have a slightly larger absorption range of about 10 to 20%. They're more discreet than vaping, but they're often mixed with a carrier filler oil like MCT oil, coconut oil, hemp seed oil. Now, if you imagine, you can find hemp seed oil in the grocery store. It's a great thing to cook with. It has great omega-3s and omega-6 balanced. It also has protein and things like that. So it's a great thing, but there's no CBD, there's no cannabinoids in hemp seed oil. The therapeutic properties come from the stems, the stalks, and the flower. So the seeds are great for protein and for omegas, but they're not great for the medicinal properties. So they'll a lot of times mix the oil in there to maximize the volume, but it's not helping the absorption whatsoever. It's a regular dosing. Again, you might have to shake it. You'll see the layers separate, and there can be a lot of contaminants. Again, is it being tested? Do they provide the certificate of analysis? And it can take weeks or days to actually build up in your system where you can actually start feeling a result. So vaping, that's another way that people are taking cannabinoids. It does have better absorption and faster results, but the problem is, the cost versus whatever. It's damaging to the lungs. People are ending up in the hospital in respiratory distress. People are dying because of vaping, because of additives like vitamin E acetate, propylene glycol, glycerin, and a fungicide that's used in Dank Vapes is one of the brands that stay the heck away from it. They're using a fungicide in the growing process of the hemp. Again, that gets extracted and then it's in the supplement. It's called myclobutanil, or I might not be pronouncing it right, but it releases hydrogen cyanide gas when it's heated. Hello? and we're vaping that. So we've got to watch out. And the children, the kids, they think, oh, well, I'm just vaping this, and it's, you know, better than smoking or whatever. It's not. The best way, everybody knows, if you're in the nutraceutical world, liposomal delivery is the best way that you can take any sort of a product. So we're going to talk about that, and I just want to make a really clear disclaimer. I'm not claiming to cure, treat, prevent, heal any disease or disease state or illness. Prime My Body is a nutritional supplement that supports the body in healing itself. When you give the body what it's been missing, it will do the job to heal itself. And that's really what we're here about. We're all about helping people maintain their health and wellness. And what is Recept and how is it different? So those of you who tried the hemp oil today, the hemp extract, this is a sonicated nano liposomal delivery. Fancy words for saying intravenous results without the needles. It's faster, you can use less, and it bypasses digestive phases. When you put it in your mouth, when you swallow, it's being absorbed into your tongue, under the buccal mucosa in your tongue. It's also getting absorbed in the esophageal lining as you're swallowing. So it's bypassing, it's literally within 1/35th of a second. Our chief medical advisor is finding that it's helping with neuroplasticity, brain inflammation. It's bypassing the blood-brain barrier, and it's going into circulation faster. We're using high sound frequency waves. So if you imagine the molecule when it comes off the plant, hemp, when it's extracted, it's too large to go straight into circulation. So it has to be broken down into smaller fragments. Imagine trying to throw a basketball through a chain link fence. It's just gonna bounce right off. You got to break it down, right? Usually normal phase of digestion takes 30-45 minutes. The bile salts and the liver start breaking down the oils, and that's how it normally gets absorbed. So what we've basically found a way is to take that basketball and like dissolve it into fine granules of sand, and now you throw that straight through and it goes right in. So that is what this is doing. So there's a phospholipid bilayer, a little fatty lipid bubble, if you will, and it mimics your cell wall. So literally it has the hemp extract inside of it. The little bubble is just a carrier, and your body literally receives it as itself, and it goes intracellularly right into circulation. That's what this is showing. It's very, very fast and effective. Again, you're activating that endocannabinoid system faster, stronger than any other product. Here's a photo here. So this is products that are out there on the market. Again, they're just too large. After it goes through sonication, which is a process using high frequency sound waves, and I'm also a musician, as a lot of you know, and that actually, to have sound healing in a bottle, to have that to raise people's vibrational frequencies in a supplement is incredible. Other products will use ethanol to create those liposomes. We're doing it with sound waves. So it's ethanol free, alcohol free, safe for people who are concerned, who maybe have had a problem with alcohol as being a drug of choice. So this is really incredible. Smallest particles ever. It's CBD, CBG, and 7 different terpenes. It's a broad spectrum hemp extract, gluten, soy, and dairy free, third party tested again for those toxins, so we can prove that it's safe, organically grown, non-GMO, made in a halal and kosher facility, 0% THC, 0. So I'd like to touch on that really quick because I get a lot of people asking me, will I pop pot for a drug test? So the question is, how are they testing? Are they testing for all of cannabinoids? Because like poppy seeds can throw a false positive for opium, right? Or opiates. The same thing is potentially possible if you're taking hemp extracts, right? If they're testing specifically for THC, there's no way you could take this supplement and end up with a failed drug test. So really it becomes, a question of asking the HR, letting them know, hey, I take this, it's a legal supplement. If I take this drug test, is it going to test for just THC? That's a good question to have, but I do know people who have taken this for years and have taken drug tests and passed just fine. Literally, after 5 minutes of this delivery system, there is more CBD in the blood than ever will be of other products. And only it takes about 20 minutes and you're almost at peak absorption. So that's a big thing because undetectable in the blood of any other product for at least 30 minutes. So it's faster, stronger, and you're going to feel the effects I'd like to introduce to you Dr. Chen Ron. He is our chief medical advisor. He's put together an incredible medical advisory board and panel, including Dr. Crystal Eng, who's our veterinarian, Dr. Ankur Mehta, M-E-H-T-A. He's a spinal surgeon, and he actually is very into the alternative treatments, especially within stem cell. He's literally giving Recept to his patients before and after surgery, seeing incredible healing, and it's just incredible. Dr. Ron is actually in the middle right now of clinical studies. He's giving Recept to over 500 patients in his clinic. He owns the largest integrative medical clinic in the entire United States of America. He literally just bypassed the Cleveland Clinic in size. So to have him on board as our formulator, as our being able to have the scientific data to actually show how this is helping patients is really incredible. He's the author of the Ultimate Guide for Type 2 Diabetes. Reversing diabetes is a big passion of his, and he has grown up with a very, very well-balanced approach. His father is a Harvard graduate, a surgeon, very, very wonderful in his right. His mother is traditionally Chinese medicine, acupuncture, herbs. So if you go to his clinic, you're not going to get wait in the waiting room, show up and leave with a pill in half an hour. He's going to sit with you, find out what, on a spiritual level, on a physical level, on a mental level, what is going on with your body. And then he's going to try and help you with healing yourself through supplements and letting food be the medicine before he can then, if it's the last case scenario, use Western medicine, which he does, but he will try to do that as a last case scenario. So it's very exciting.
CBG is Cannabigerol, or some people pronounce this as Cannabigerol. I don't know how it's pronounced, but I know it's good. There's a lot of data on CBG ever since even in the mid 2000s. And the CBG is really what we call a precursor component. In the plant, CBG turns into different cannabinoids. There's CBD, CBC, turns into also THC. But when you extract the plant early enough, you have this small amount of CBG. The CBG in the body doesn't turn into anything that's psychoactive. So it's a non-psychoactive cannabinoid. And CBG has been shown in multiple studies to have more of what we call a neuroregenerative effect. It means that we're seeing neurons heal much more, and more of a neuroregenerative effect than even CBD, which is cannabidiols. And so there's a pharmaceutical company currently doing phase 1 clinical trials with synthetic CBG for that specific purpose. And so CBG commonly exists in the hemp plant, although it doesn't commonly exist very much, because the hemp plant will grow, will have CBG, and pretty shortly it'll turn into other things. So it's kind of like the stem cell of cannabinoids, and stem cells in the body turn into other cells. So the CBG in the hemp plant turns into other cannabinoids, and so we're seeing it has an antimicrobial effect. It means it has activity against MRSA, which is a really drug-resistant bacteria. We're seeing specific brain neurons grow in mice with neurodegenerative diseases like Huntington's disease. November 2018 just came out looking at Lou Gehrig's disease, or ALS, with improvement in neurons in Lou Gehrig's disease in mice model as well. And so the science is young on CBG, but it's also very exciting. And it's a very important component to look at and to include in a broad spectrum hemp.
Terpenes. This is the aromatic compound that's found in any plant. Think of lavender, rosemary. When the oils are extracted, those smells that you smell and those essential oils are the terpenes. And terpenes are also activators of the endocannabinoid system. They work synergistically with our own body's cannabinoids, with the supplements that we take to heighten the effect, if you will. It affects neuronal and muscle ion channels, so it can help nerves and muscles work better as well. And these are some of the terpenes that you'll find in our product. So you've got, I don't know how to pronounce all of them. So basically you can just look and see anti-inflammatory, pain relief, antidepressant, improving mood, helping with appetite, pain relief, anti-tumor, anti-anxiety, antioxidant, antibacterial, antifungal, again, so lots of different really incredible terpenes are in our product. Are you feeling burned out? Think of it like this. People, they often will turn and say, I just feel really burned out. Well, think of it like a Christmas tree. Literally, people are walking around, I'm a Christmas tree, but they have no lights lit up. Their endocannabinoid system is deficient. When you take just CBD, which is a lot of products out there, they isolate just CBD, that's like illuminating the white lights. For a lot of people, they feel the benefit of just CBD, that's great. But imagine now if we can turn on all of the colors of the rainbow and all of it. So that is really what we have to offer. It's a full, broad spectrum. So our product on the left, and these, I'm not bashing any products. These are all really great products. They're all, can provide certification of analysis and things, but when you look right at it, we are the only product that has CBD, CBG, all of the terpenes in a delivery system that your body can actually absorb without using any stevia sweeteners or anything. And ours is absolutely THC free. So really exciting that we have this. You'll probably see this one at the grocery stores a lot of times. This is Charlotte's Web that a lot of people are pretty noted well about. And again, we're just crushing it. And so you're gonna feel this. Think of it like the singer, right, of the band. Obviously I'm in an all-female rock band, it's really fun. But THC and CBD are like the main singers. They get all the attention, but what about their backup band? It helps them, right? It makes them sound better. See Celine Dion, she sounds better with her. She's awesome, but she sounds better with her band. So that's what we have to offer. A little bit about the ingredients, which I'm happy to share with that. It's legal in all 50 states. Clinical testing. So this is the really exciting stuff for me to see Dr. Ron, and I get to see him in Las Vegas here in about a week and a half, where he's going to be telling us all about not only Recept, but the companion product that we're bringing out. So this Recept is going to be relabeled as Focus. Like you said, Lynn, it brings that focus, it brings that clarity, it helps people really focus. And to me, it brings up some energy for me. So we're actually coming out with basically a calm version, if you will. It's going to have, I don't know all the blend, but I did hear ashwagandha. It's very exciting for an herb to have that with that combined with CBD. And that'll be more of like the calming effect. So if you imagine CBD, cannabidiol, all of these extracts, they're adaptogenic herbs. So what it does is different for every single person. It adapts to what you need. So people who run on the high spectrum of like high anxiety, high energy levels, it's going to bring them down to a more normal level. People who are like on the sedentary, maybe the lights are darker and dim, it's going to help bring them back up to balance. So really exciting to see the brain mapping. So in a healthy brain, the PET scan should be green, okay? But Dr. Ron, when he does scans in his clinic, he's finding 80% of the people that come into his clinic are like this, somewhere between red, blues, not good. This is pooling of inflammation. He calls it inflammation pools. So this is really exciting because you see all in this first one, you see blues, you see greens, but it's pretty bad. You see a red marker, that's not good. But literally after 24 hours of taking Recept, we've got greens coming back into balance and that red marker is gone. So that's really exciting to actually see empirical data on this being showed. Back. Okay. The red again, bad. We've got red, and now it's turning to green. So really exciting to see on scans that this can help. Again, brain scans, blues turning to greens after just 50 minutes of taking Recept. In fact, Jonas Crafts is a affiliate just like me. He actually used to play tight end for the Philadelphia Eagles, and he has had a lot of brain concussions, as you can imagine, being his brain is scrambled. And he's one of Dr. Ron's, in fact, I don't know which of those slides, but one of those was Jonas's brain scans. And literally Dr. Ron told Jonas, don't take any hemp stuff for 3 days. I want to do a baseline, then we're going to take your brain scans. In those 3 days, Jonas reported feeling those agitation, his old self coming back where he was just pissed off and reactive. And after taking the Recept, his brain scans normal, and he felt amazing. So this is really incredible. Just a little warning, there's not, Shayla, I'm sorry, I don't want to offend you, but this is me. So 2 years ago, I was in a mountain bike accident with a traumatic brain injury. I broke my face in 4 places. And this really sent me to, well, one, the ICU. I woke up with breathing tubes down my throat, and that was really scary. Dad was there. I'm sure he got the call, like, oh my God, what has Tara done to herself this time? It wasn't the first time I'd had a concussion. So it's very important that we take care of our brain health. And I literally left the ICU with a prescription for painkillers and muscle relaxers. And I said, there's got to be another way. How do I heal my brain? And everything was coming out to me saying, you got to look at CBD, you got to try it. And I tried all this stuff and nothing worked. I felt nothing. I thought, this is snake oil. I'd rub it on. I did the tinctures. I did the oils and the capsules. I tried everything that I could find and nothing worked. And one of my very best friends, who's an engineer, she designs solar panel systems. She called me. She had just started with this company. Hey, are you trying CBD? I'm like, girl, I've tried everything. I'm maxed out. I don't want to spend any more money. And she took the time to educate me on the benefits of this particular product. And I tried it and I felt immediate relaxation. I was driving in traffic on a snowy day, trying to get back from Boulder. I picked this up from a chiropractor on our team, Dr. Zellner, who was calling this liquid chiropractic in a bottle. He says, literally, I just offer this to my patients and I can see their nervous system having reaction before I've even done the adjustment on them. Wow. And I felt it immediately. I felt this calmness, the white knuckle grip on my steering wheel relax, the tension that I held in my neck just kind of softened. And I picked up the phone and I called my friend and I said, this is it. This is what we've been waiting for. This is what I've been praying for. Order me a case, I'm in. And I literally, my doctors were floored. I went in for my 30-day follow-up appointment. Dr. Kayla at Denver Health. We do not see healing in patients like this, she tells me. What are you doing? I said, I drink superfood smoothies, which you guys got to try, which we do carry. And I take this hemp extract, and she was very supportive, obviously, and the rest is history. I started sharing with my father, who, by the way, was my DARE officer. And when I first talked to him about, Dad, I started a hemp business. You're trying to give me a heart attack, And I'm like, Dad, relax. They took the scent out of the bottle. I'm like, this is not going to get you high. This is nothing. And I said, I ordered a case. I really want to give you a bottle, but I don't want to end up sitting on your shelf and not getting used. I'm worried about your knees. I'm worried about, my grandfather had just passed away from complications of Alzheimer's and dementia. And it was really heartbreaking to watch people on a decline like that. I said, please just try a bottle, and the rest is history. So I'm very grateful that I do not have any long-term effects from that injury, no seizures, no dizziness, no cognitive function issues, no personality changes. I'm just as nice, if not nicer. And you can see on thermography scans, even after taking hemp extracts, the red on the left-hand side here, inflamed. This person had a lot of back pain, taking hemp oil after half an hour. And you can see it in thermography scans. Again, this person had wrist pain 23 minutes later. It's like this is happening for people. So this is only available through affiliates like myself or Lene or Vicky or my dad, like everyone who has access to this. You're not going to find this level of product in a dispensary. It'd be way too expensive. You couldn't afford it at a retail shop. So we help people buy direct, save money. And what I love about this is there's auto ship, there's ways to save, and there's ways to generate income if that's something that you desire for your practice. I know where there's a lot of practitioners in here who might be wondering, well, I get pharmaceutical kickbacks for X, Y, or Z. Can I make money with this? Can this be a leveraged income stream for my business? Absolutely, yes. You can learn more at my website, alternativemedicine.primemybody.com. Please take, pamphlets, cards, whatever. This is a quote from Dr. Lita Gisela, who's a friend of mine. She's an acupuncturist. She specializes in traditional Chinese medicine, herbalist. She said, none of us, acupuncturists, chiropractors, MDs, osteopaths, none of us have learned about the endocannabinoid system in school. We just haven't. I think every person in the health and wellness field needs to know about this system. They need to have the basic fundamental understanding. It's their duty to recommend clean, quality products because we're living in a country run by advertising. People are financially sick. If I want my patients to be on this supplement every month, I'm grateful that the company I want to recommend and do recommend is in network marketing because my patients have the opportunity to get their products for free. Don't have that. People are struggling. They want to know, well, my insurance won't cover this. Can I show you a way that if you know a few people, we can get your product for free? So if people are saying, I can't afford it, I try and switch it. How can you afford it? Let's work together. Let's find the people that you know who are also struggling, and let's help this world. What if tomorrow you could say, I had the best night's sleep in years? Please text me if that happens to you tonight. If you sleep better, I've had it happen numerous times. People texting me, I literally have slept better than I have in 20 years. People who are finally off of their opioids, their pain pills, or maybe they're off to just down to one a day or something at night. It's incredible how this is helping people really wake up. If you were able to bless someone's life with the information that you learned today and share it, and they could have an actual radical shift in their life, would you? That's my question to you today. Because people are still in the dark about hemp. There's still so much miseducation, and that's what we do to HEMP, help educate and empower more people to take back their health. Will you choose to be a part of this awakening with us? Will you please wake others up? Because if nothing changes, nothing changes. The CBD industry, this is my last slide for you guys, and I'm happy to stay as long as you want to answer any questions that people have. The CBD industry right now is poised for radical, incredible growth. They're calling it the green rush for a reason. They're projecting that the CBD industry, so tinctures, salve, ointments, pills, capsules, all that will be growing from a $500 million industry, which it was more like $600 million last year, to over $22 billion in the next 2-3 years, okay? Our company, Prime My Body, was responsible for 10% of that. We just launched in Japan, we just launched in Mexico. We've got Canada on the docket, and we'll be expanding around the world to bring this to the people. The skincare and CBD industry, that Nox product you saw, that introductory, it's interesting. People want to look better on the outside. Are they willing to actually help on the inside as well? We have the ability to do both, help heal people from the inside and out. The CBD industry for skincare alone, Aveda, Clinique, these major brands, everyone is looking at how do we put CBD in our skincare. That is projected to double and be a $50 billion industry. Again, people would rather look better than feel better. It's interesting, but if anti-aging is something that you're interested in, that's incredible. 40 times exponential growth is what we're dealing with in the next very, very narrow window of time. So if you get onto this and you love the product and you share with others and you help be a part of this illumination to bring those lights back on in people's lives, and you can create financial wealth for your family, legacy wealth, residual. Everyone reorders and you introduced it to them one time and they told their friends and family, we're all making money. This is not about helping get the rich even richer. It's about helping our community create health and finances and physical health. So if you're interested, I'd love to invite you. On Monday evening, Dr. Scott Freeman is a dear mentor of mine. He lives in LA. He's out here. He's doing a presentation in Colorado Springs. I know I'll be going. If anyone wants to jump in the Terra Tahoe, we can all carpool down there and you can meet this gentleman. He's got the biggest heart, but he actually has created so much leveraged income for himself in this company that he shut down his chiropractic clinic, travels the world. He just got back from Carnegie Hall performing with his choir, and so he's pursuing his passions, helping support the teams, and that's really it, guys. So thank you so much for your time, for your energy, for your So I haven't exactly priced it per day because again, every person is different. Now, after my accident, I was going through 2 bottles a month for the first 2 months. People ask, can you build a tolerance to this? Absolutely. And the good thing about that is you might need a lot more of it at first to get like a loading dose in so you can really get it. So somebody might need to be taking this. Dr. Ron has people taking 3 times, 4 times a day if they need it for that level of relief. It's not going to be that level for the entire time, because what happens is as you take the supplement, it actually So this is a little scientifical term, but basically what this does is there's an enzyme. So when we're in that runner's high, when we're in those euphoric places where we're producing our own cannabinoids, there's an enzyme that comes and destroys that. So that's why it's really short-lived experience and you can't pull it up. So when you take the hemp oil supplement, what it does is it stops that enzyme from destroying your own personal production of CBD and those other different cannabinoids that your body's making. So you can actually get a pooling up. So you can get your gas tank from empty to eventually full. And then once that happens, you can do what's called pulsing and do like 5 days on and 2 days off, or maybe once a month you don't take it for 4 or 5 days. That lets your gas levels get down. Now you're just topping it off. Maybe you just take it once a day. It's really hard to say, for each person is different. But that's what I love to help people. At least they can start out, even if they just want to be a wholesale buyer. If it's a patient of yours, you want to help them get a discount. You can help them sign up. It's $39 annual fee. And they can order a 3-pack, a 6-pack, a 15-pack, and save money that way on the forefront. I have several clients of mine that are technically affiliates, but they're not out here sharing. They just want a great discount on the product, and that's available for anyone too. We have an auto ship program that I love, where you buy the first bottle at full retail if it goes through the website, and then you can get on in your back office and toggle on an optional auto ship, where it'll send you 1 bottle, or if you want a bottle in the hemp oil and the protein shake, you can adjust what you want sent to you. But then your next orders you get at the same price as all of us as affiliates do, without having to pay the $39 annual fee. And you can turn it on and off. You're not like locked in for a year of auto ship. You can change the date if you need to, another couple weeks before you get paid. And that just gives people the freedom and the ability to be very independent in this. So you help them set up one time, or maybe if you have a clinic, and I'm happy to help teach, Dr. Ataji, if you have people at, Laura, I can help sign up, help people get the basic info at the, like whoever's running the front office, we can train them how to help people enroll or get on the auto ship. So it's very duplicatable and easy for you. So you're not having to stock a ton of products in your clinic, and you can help people just, hey, if you like this, here, I want to help you get a discount. Here's the option. It's actually grown here in the United States. I haven't been able to tour the facility or anything like that. We are looking, our company is based in Houston, Texas, and with the legalization of hemp growing, I know that our CEO just was looking at some grow operations in Texas as well, because again, the farmers there would love to have the ability. In fact, we've got the Texas Big Agricultural Commissioner, Sid Miller, and is on, and Rick Hardcastle. These are politicians that were integrated of hemp, bringing this testimonial to help the legalization and bring it there. But right now, the hemp, I believe, is grown here in Colorado, but it's going to hopefully switch in and be.
So it's grown here?
It's grown here, yeah. Yeah. There's no overdosing, so it's not like, this does not act on the brainstem, so it doesn't affect respiration, circulation, breathing in that regard where you can actually overdose on it. Basically, there's, I just let people know, hey, start slow with this, because that's another thing. When you get the body out of that sympathetic fight or flight and you turn back on the detox pathways for 3 days, people may, not that it's normal, but if you have somebody who's highly toxic, think of the distended beer belly for men. Women, we kind of hold our toxins in our belly and thighs and things like that. When you're releasing those toxins, if your body's not ready for it, you can have some Herxheimer reactions. So you could experience some detox symptoms for the first few days. Headaches, nausea, diarrhea that may be black, just gas, any sort of weird feelings going on. it's not normal, but it's not unusual. And I just help people understand, go get some activated charcoal, drink some apple cider vinegar, lots of lemon water. You'll get through those, and just use less of the hemp oil for starting out. Maybe you do a half a dropper, a quarter dropper, and build up as you need until you really start hitting it hard. So, yeah. The legal requirement is anything under 0.3% THC is legal. So that's the legalities of it. Yeah, there could absolutely, if other products out there, even though they say CBD oil or hemp oil on there, yeah, they can't provide that, or even if it is under the 0.3% legal version, could still show up on a drug test. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I like to help people understand that this will not get you high, but until the testing facilities are really pointing at just testing for THC. But if they're testing for any cannabinoids, then you could throw a false positive. So yeah, thank you guys so much. If there's any other questions, I'm happy to stay around, but I have a pad of paper if you'd like. Yep, thank you. If you want more information, if you're interested in this, if you have questions, I'd love to be able to follow up with you. Feel free to take any of my marketing stuff. My business cards are here for you. I'm just here as a resource. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram if you want. I go by Hempress Terra, HEMPRESS. Hempress at your service. So really just helping, and I appreciate you guys so much. So